Almost a year after this legal battle started between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, we finally find out why Colleen Hoover turned on Justin Baldoni. And let me just tell you, it is not why you think. And the reasons are shocking and complete BS. And you know what they come up to is the fact that Colleen Hoover is a horrible, horrible friend. And it makes me regret ever reading any of her books. And honestly, Colleen, it makes me regret you. It makes me regret you. Let's get into it. Justin Baldoni and Colleen Hoover became very close about 5 years before It Ends With Us ever hit screens. Justin Baldoni had heard of the book It Ends With Us, and he became very attached to it because of its message about domestic violence. And he connected with Colleen and said, I want to make this a movie. And all of these emails and communications came to light during this trial, or during the court case that is not gone to trial yet. They were very close. They collaborated a lot in the months and years leading up to production, including the casting of Blake Lively. And somehow, some way, in the middle of this whole drama, Colleen Hoover took Blake's side and not only stopped talking to Justin, but unfollowed him on Instagram. And none of us really understood why. We just kind of assumed that probably she took Blake's side in this whole SH case that Blake Lively is now suing Justin Baldoni for. So that's kind of the only information we ever had until new text messages were unsealed in the court documents last night. And now we finally understand that in August of 2024, about a week after the movie premiered, and the press was just going crazy because Justin Baldoni was basically banished to the basement during the premiere, and he wasn't being seen on the red carpet. The entire cast turned their backs on Justin, and Blake Lively had unfollowed Justin. The rest of the cast had unfollowed Justin. I believe even Ryan Reynolds blocked Justin. Like, there was all that drama, and everyone was saying, what is going on? But press was starting to question, is Justin the bad one, or is it Blake? And people were starting to turn on Blake. You guys remember this. Colleen Hoover, out of nowhere, sends Justin a text message, and Justin then communicates in a group text with his PR team, and those text messages have been unsealed. In that text, he relays to his PR team, and he says, I'm so shocked and just devastated by this. I haven't heard from Colleen for months, he says. She ghosted me. After not hearing from Colleen for so long after the movie wrapped, Justin hears from her finally with an unhappy message, basically about an article that was written about them from The Hollywood Reporter. And she was concerned about her image. She wasn't liking the way that the article was written. And Justin was like in shock that this is how he had heard from her after feeling so abandoned. So he says to the rest of the team on this group chat, he says, I'm sorry, I don't have the capacity right now in this moment to be the bigger person and to do that, after his PR team said basically, go to her and be nice and use this moment to apologize for this article and why it was written that way, but say that you didn't come with any, bad intention, and you're trying really hard to be nice with her and everything's fine and you're feeling hurt by her. He says, I don't have the capacity right now in this moment to be the bigger person and do that. You have to remember that it was her betrayal that landed me in the hospital. It's been devastating to me. He went into the hospital during the end of production because he completely was turned on by everyone on that film, including her, who was his good friend prior to the movie. He says, this message makes my blood boil. He goes by Henny Grace in these messages. That's his pseudonym, his kind of like his fake name in these group texts. When he finally does feel the strength to write back to her, he says, Colleen, I'm sorry that you're hurting. I want you to know there has not been one lie that has come out of my mouth or one bad word spoken about any of you. I'm also not talking about my experience. I have been sticking to the same message of the movie, which you know I cared deeply about from the beginning. The headline is taken out of context, which you will see from the interview. I have spoken about this multiple times, and they also don't include everything I say. He's basically saying, I don't have control over what an article is going to say in their final edit. None of which has anything to do with changing his trajectory. He's talking about the character. In the second book, which I of course asked about multiple times to understand where the story goes, you supported my decision to remove him from the end. We don't control the headlines. Since this is the first time I've heard from you, I just want you to know that I have cared for you from the past 5 years, and that hasn't changed, she says to Colleen. And then she responds with this. It just feels like I'm on an island here. This is what Colleen Hoover says to Justin when the hate is being directed at me. You guys posting that article and allowing it to fuel the comments is hurtful, and the timing of it just feels like you're worried about your image, but not the women who are behind this story. OMG, he was banished to the basement. I know things took an awful turn, and I felt forced to choose when I did not want to. But the back and forth articles from both camps are just so upsetting and ridiculous. It's making everyone working on this movie look immature. Everyone is out there trying to save themselves, and now this has turned into a huge mess. And I know you guys think I've made decisions for certain reasons, but I have felt the rift from long before I was ever in contact with Blake. Oh, so even before you met Blake, ever before that, you already turned on Justin? Okay, so this better be good. So what did Justin do to you, Colleen? Well, let's find out. She says, it started with me not being allowed to read the script until I was sat with readers, but then all the interviews made it seem like you included me in the script from the beginning. Then the whole documentary thing where I said no so very many times. And the book, when I asked you guys to at least donate a portion of the proceeds to DV, and then I was told the only way a donation would be made is if I took 1% and donated that myself. Then the whole tattoo thing. All the texts of you blaming Blake for that and reiterating that she didn't read the book every time I just try to ask you what to say to readers. I have been disappointed personally by your actions many times. Wow, fighting words, Colleen. Just wait, though. Just wait. She continues, I appreciate that you haven't directly said anything negative. That's how it should be. But you are grown men with a platform. Oh, okay, Mom. You know how to use it to protect your image. Please don't continue to use it to harm me or mine. That's all I'm asking. Well, this all kind of sounds bad, right? When I first read this, I was like, Colleen is not happy with Justin. It doesn't sound like Justin was great here if all of these things are true. It's a good thing Justin saved text messages. It reminds me, always save your text messages. Why? Because Justin then went on to present about 8 screenshots of text messages dating back from 2022. And I'm not going to share them here because the quality is really bad. It's screenshots of screenshots. So there's no reason to share them here. But basically what they are screenshots of 2022 text messages of Colleen and Justin saying, I love the script. Thank you so much for letting me read it. I love this. Here are some notes, back and forth, back and forth. Justin shared the script with Colleen. So this whole claim here, where she basically says, it started with me not being allowed to read the script until I was sat with readers, but then all the interviews made it seem like you included me in the script from the beginning. He did include you in the script from the beginning, Colleen. Are you okay? Does your memory not work well, lady? Then she brings up the documentary and the donating the portion of the book to DV and then the tattoo thing. Well, let me explain one thing at a time. In the final text that they respond back, this is what they say. I am deeply sorry to hear about the pain you're experiencing. Feeling alone on an island is just terrible. I want you to know with all sincerity that my team is not engaged in anything that would harm you, and they have not contributed to any negative articles. My heart breaks when I think about the distance that has grown between us, especially when I've always valued our collaboration and friendship so deeply. I know a lot has happened since we worked on the script together, and you feel as though you weren't included in the fan reading. As an effort to remind you, we sent you the script beforehand in July of 2022, where you responded with such positivity, noting how pleased you were that it stayed true to the book, and you even shared your notes with me. I'm happy to share those screenshots if you'd like. Regarding the documentary, I want you to know that while we have tried to ease some of your concerns regarding being on camera, we have always intended to respect your wishes, which is why we never moved forward. It was only an idea meant to bring fans closer to a story that means so much to so many. Interesting, considering she's been on so many on-camera press junkets with Blake Lively. She's happy to be on camera for so many things. All of a sudden, Colleen Hoover is like camera shy? Why wouldn't she want to do a documentary? That's weird. Continues, regarding the coffee book donation. Legally, Wayfair couldn't donate the 1% on your behalf as you graciously requested. It wasn't a demand from us, but a legal requirement we were asked to relay. Stay tuned for part 2.